Welcome back. This is Patty Bennett with PattyStamps.com. I have some cute cards to share with you today, and what's particularly fun about these cards is the way that they shimmer. In person, these are so pretty, and I have a couple of secret weapons that I'm going to share with you so that you can create your own pretty shimmery cards. So let me just show you what I've used. The Flowering Fields stamp set and the Wildflower Fields paper. These are free items in the Stampin' Up 2016 Celebration catalog. So this promotion runs through the end of March 2016. So if you're watching this video within that time frame, these are a couple of gifts you might want to pick with your $50 orders. So I mentioned I have a couple of secret weapons here. So the Wink of Stella pens, these are glimmery pens. I'm going to show you how to use this. This is one of my fun secret weapons for this card. And then shimmery white cardstock, and I'm kind of guessing that you may not be able to see a huge difference on camera than just regular white cardstock, but it truly does have beautiful little speckles of kind of glimmer in it. And then I have stamped those flower images with an archival black ink pad from Stampin' Up. So those are the three secret weapons that you are going to need to make this beautiful card. So I have used 3 of the different flower stamps from the Flowering Fields set that I just showed you to make these 3 cards, but they're all similar design. They're 4 1/4 inch square cards. They each open as a top fold card, and at the bottom I have used a little 1-inch strip of that designer paper that is also free in the Celebration catalog. So I've just kind of mixed it up, changed up the colors, and then added different ribbons or washi tape to the front of the card. So let me show you how I colored it with the Wink of Stella pen. You're probably familiar with coloring with a Stampin' Up aqua painter, where you use the brush tip and you dip it into some of the ink in your ink pad lid or on a palette and you use it to color. Well, you can actually color the same way with the Wink of Stella pens. So when you pull off the cap, you're going to notice this brush tip, and some of the glimmery paint is in here, and it comes down into the tube. You just, right here where it says push, you just squeeze there. Now I've already squeezed, so I'm not going to squeeze again, but that activates that glimmer paint to come down here, and then you can use this tip to pick up color and to paint. And while you don't need different pens, you can just wipe them off like you do a blender pen or an aqua painter. I've got 2 of the clear Wink of Stella pens, so I'm just going to use 2 of them to paint. So you can see this one still has a little bit of the Mossy Meadow color on it, and so I'm just going to dab in there and use this as a palette, and then I can just paint right into the area, and it's painting a glimmery pretty color of Mossy Meadow because it's mixing the glimmer paint in the pen with the Mossy Meadow ink. It's very pretty. It's probably hard to see on camera, but you can trust me that it's quite glimmery and gorgeous in person. You can see a little bit of that shine there. Then if you just had 1 pen, you would just wipe this off on your scratch paper and then go to your next color, but I have a separate pen, so I'm just going to swirl that around in my Calypso Coral ink and start painting the flowers. I painted the entire flower first without getting more ink on my pen, and then I let it dry for just a couple of seconds, and I went back and I picked up a little more concentrated color, and I came in and I gave it just a little kind of shadow. And then when it dries, you can see more of that two-tone look, but it's very glimmery and pretty when it dries. So again, when it dries, it's just so pretty and shimmery, and it's really that easy. It's quite simple to do this. And I did just want to give you a tip though. You know, I'm so used to using my blender pens and my aqua painters with this technique where you just dip it into the ink pad lid. And so last night when I was making a whole bunch of these cards, when I was done and I needed more ink, I closed it up and I squeezed it like we normally would, and then I realized what I did was I transferred that gold paint onto my ink pad. So I'm going to blot it off of there. It will be okay. You can blot it with a paper towel and then just re-ink it. But what I would suggest is that you probably just grab a clear block and your re-inker, your ink refill. You put a couple of drops on there and you use that as a temporary palette so that you can just swirl some ink around there. You don't need a lot. You can see that was 1 or 2 drops, and that would do many, many cards. But then I can come back in here and, you know, add more ink and give it that beautiful definition. I could just, I mean, just do all of the cards that way. But I was just saying that it's probably better to go ahead and do this than to use the lids of your pad, because you just don't want to transfer that glimmer onto your pad. So that's just an extra tip for you. But I just thought these were so cute, so pretty, and I hope that you will have fun painting your own flowering fields images or any outline stamp. Just don't forget to use your black archival ink so that your painting or your coloring does not smear. And if you use this beautiful shimmery paper, you're going to have a head start on your beautiful shimmer cards. Any of the Stampin' Up! Products you've seen here can be purchased at pattystamps.com. Just click any of the Shop Online buttons at pattystamps.com, and then you can select free your stamp set or paper during celebration. And of course that does expire on March 31st, but up until then these are free items, and the other items are available at all times. Just let me know if you have any questions. I'd be happy to help.